Scrap with Brenda. It's Blue Monday! Yay, Blue Monday! And we're going to do a skill building sew along that will help me make a charity quilt at the end of this series. Now, we're using blue and white because I'm overrun with blue, but you can use whatever color you want. And today we're going to play with quarter square triangles and make a cute little block. And I'll show you how to make them and trim them up and all the rest of the stuff. So, but first, let's get to our shout out. Our shout out is Anne from Said with Love. Now, her YouTube channel is going to be in our show notes below. And go give her some encouragement and love and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you over there. So that would be a surprise shout out for her. I believe she's in the middle of a sew along too, and it's very cute, very lovely. So if that's another sew along you want to join, tell her that I sent you. Now, also in those show notes below, we have a Facebook group. We do all the same things, fun things that Facebook groups do. We also do fabric swaps by country. We also do free patterns where we find them and, you know, ideas for organizing our scraps. We also have a virtual sewing room in Discord that we are running for the Facebook group members that basically gives them a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week virtual sew date if they choose to go. And you never know who you're going to meet in there because, boy, they have a lot of fun in there. Now, the other thing you're going to find in there in the show notes is our Zoom sew dates. Our Zoom sew dates are lots of fun. They're from now until the end of December, so those calendar dates are there. And it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we just have such fun in there. I get lots done those days. So, because I mark it on my calendar and I have something big ready to sew. And we do a lot of show and tell, and it's all sorts of fun. We take polls and all. We just have a great time. It's all good. Now, the other things you're going to find in there are the Sew Yeah Brothers are doing their charity quilt drive for homeless people in Alaska. Go to their website to find out more information. It runs until August 15th, and the people that participated last year had a blast. They just had so much fun. It was great. It was just wonderful. Now, one of the last things you're going to find in there is the collaboration. Started July 9th. I was the first block out. Now that collaboration is with Michelle from Bits and Pieces Quilting, Future Cat from New Zealand, and Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises. We just had a wonderful time getting all of those organized, and boy, did we come up with some beautiful blocks. If you're not part of that collaborative community round robin, you should be, because those blocks are outstanding. And lastly, I speak for free. To quilt groups and quilting guilds, I talk about charity quilts, scrappy quilts, using your scraps, design elements, all that stuff. And I tell them what's coming up on our channel, and I tell them all the stuff I do is for free, and all the free patterns that are available for them. So I also come with bearing gifts to those groups as well. So come on in, let's play with some quarter square triangles. Okay, where I have the sewing machines, I got a little cutting mat. I've gotten my broken magic wand. I don't know where the real one is, but it's right here and it works great. Now I'm just going to draw my line. Now this is a half inch ruler, right? So that means when you line it up, oh, I forgot, I didn't get up there close enough to the edge for me to see. I draw these over the I draw my lines over the big ones because, yeah, they kind of get away on me. There. Now, so I'm making 3, so that means you're going to have 1 extra for the next block. So this one kind of lends itself. You could do a bunch of scrappy ones and it would be perfect. I will show you how to make how to trim them, because people were saying like, oh, the trimming is the hardest part, and it's like, well, okay. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just lay them on top of each other. I'm gonna get my other foot on because I like the visibility better on this foot here than I do with my 1/4 inch foot. So that's why I'm changing feet. And quarter square triangles are a lot of fun, and you make 2 at a time. And we'll get this out of the way so I can put my foot on. There we go. Yeah, quarter square triangles are fun. Basically, the rule of thumb is if I want to make, let's say, a 4.5 inch unfinished block or a 4-inch finish block, I would add 1.25 inches, right? So I would add 1.25 inches to this block, because this block here measures 5.25, right? So for my it measures 5.25 square, right? So it's kind of important that you remember that the finished size plus the 1.25. So there. Now we're just gonna line them up. We're not pinning. We're not nothing that fancy. We're just gonna do. We're gonna do all this sewing first. No. These are like such a nice one to work with when they're this size. When they're smaller, they're fun too. You just go on. Now I sew right on the line with mine, because I find that just works better for me. And I get some cute airplane fabric that it's a larger scale airplane. Kind of nice. Now I just turn it, because I've gone up both sides, right? And then I turn it and I just give it a little tug on the thread to give me some wiggle room. And last up, it's this one. There we go. Okay, and just give it a little pull, so you pull out a little bit more extra thread, right? And we sew in our plug, or any other like leader ender that you're working on, if you're going to do that. Now I just take a scissor and I go straight up the middle of those two lines. I don't worry if I got 1/4 inch or not, because that's going to be irrelevant. Now, because all of these are the same fabric, I'm basically going to, if they were all different fabrics, I would do one at a time. You know, I would want to keep the, the same colors together, but they're all the same fabric, so it's all good. So now what I do is I just take them, I flip them, and I press to the dark. And I'm just going to quickly finger press this one and this one. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this. Alright. Now, you're going to line them up so that the dark is on the light and the light's on the dark. Right? So that's, and you're going to make sure that that nesting seam has got no space. So you just want to like wiggle it down all the way across and line them up the best you can. There we go. Now, you're going to take your magic wand again and you're going to do this. Now, I hope I can see the pencil line on the dark blue, or the medium blue. But you would take any medium. You could take any medium and this would work. And just make sure I've got a little bit extra line. And I'm going to spin it this way. Line it up again. Just so I can. There we go. The white you don't need is dark line, but the medium you do. So now we're going to do the same thing again. Oops. Now you're going to hold on to that center, because you want that joint to be perfect, that where they cross. And you could check, you could peek, if you weren't sure you were getting it, you could peek under it, but, or you could pin it in place, or whatever is making you comfortable with these. Okay, again, you do it again. Like I say, you're gonna make 6 out of this, but because you make 2 at a time. That's why the Ohio Star is so popular, because you make 2 of these, and then you make 2 at a time, right? You've got all your star pieces, right? But I figured, okay, let's just play a little bit. And if you were going to use this, as a block, you could put this one in and then a Ohio star with the quarter square triangles in right behind it. And it would have a square and a quarter square triangle effect. And you kind of have that kind of patchwork going on, which would be kind of cool. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see the dark blue line or the blue pencil line on this medium blue, but I can. Right, so I'm just gonna, again, just go for it. Check, make sure that everything is working still in the right place. Yes, it is. Right to the end. Okay. Give it a little swirl, a little pull on that thread just to make it nice and flat. There we go. Now, last one. Yeah, these quarter square triangles are easy, fun, but you have to like making quarter square triangles or half square triangles because that's essentially what you make. Now, some people, what they do, and I used to do this, I don't do this anymore, but I find that I make pinwheels. When I cut off my, like when I'm doing binding, or, you know, you have like a 2.5 inch and you're overlapping them like this and you cut off this bit. Well, I find that I used to make quarter square triangles out of them, but I found that if I made pinwheels with them, the block was actually bigger and easier to trim. And that's what I'm going to show you too. Hopefully you'll be able to see how you trim these, because that's always useful to know how to trim them. Because they're pretty close, but they're not exact. Because you're relying on two lines of sewing. Okay, well, let's get this, okay, back here. Oh, there. To where I need them next. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, here, give that a clip. And now we run our plug through and we get that off. Okay, so with this, make sure I'm not cutting anything else that's underneath it. Because there we go. There's two. Here's two more. Some people love this block and try and use it as often as they can. Others just cringe at the thought of doing these. So now, let's get our ruler. Now what I like to do before we start any of this trimming is I take them and I swirl them. So I'm opening them up like this. So I got two that are going this way. So if you press them all the same way, they will swirl all the same way, right? And they will interlock all the same way. So you just finger press them out a bit. And there we go. And pivot those little bits out. Okay. There we go. Now, you only need 5, but I've made 6, but so you can take the nicest ones out, the ones you want in your block. Oh, like I say, these are fun to make if you're doing them all scrappy. You know, you do like a whole bunch one way and then, you know, mix them all up and then a whole bunch the other way, you know, like it would be interesting, more interestingly pieced. Okay, some people like the, you know, the two colors are the same together. So here we are, and now they're laying relatively flat in the center because we've swirled our centers, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to show you one, and then we'll cut, and I'll trim up the rest. But I want you guys, I wonder if I can't, maybe if I had my cameraman in here, I could probably do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I need to make this square 4.5. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my 4.5. Now this line goes across this way, and this 45-degree line on my ruler goes straight across. So basically now I am cutting off thread. That's it. That's all the thread I'm cutting off. I'm just little bits of thread. And I'm going to turn it around and line this all up again to the 4.5. And here, we'll give you another one. I'll show you another one here just so you can see how I'm doing this. Okay. So I'm going to get the cameraman to zoom in on my, so I've lined up my 45-degree line. Okay, I've lined up my 45-degree line, and I've got just little threads coming off, not a lot, not big pieces, which is good. That's a good thing. And then I'm turning my block, moving this over, lining this up on the 4.5-inch line, so it'll fit with all the other 4.5-inch pieces. I've got this 45-degree line crossing that axis, and I trim. Okay, so I'll cut here, and we will come back when we're done trimming them all. Okay, now I guess I should explain this. Ohio Star is like this, where they have this plain squares in the, because I mentioned it, I thought, well, now I'm going to just confuse everybody, right? So this is an Ohio Star, right? And there's another block here in the middle, right? But we're not doing that. We're going to do something a little different just because we can. And we can have fun. It's like we can generate all sorts of things if we want. Okay, so let's get these lined up. So now we've got our 9 patch, right? So, and we're still kind of close. I hope you guys can see this the way it is, but okay. Maybe I'll get my cameraman to come back into the room, and we will be able to see the entire block. Now I am going to switch out my foot on my sewing machine. So, okay. Yeah. But that, I just wanted to explain that, because it's you know, they have 5 squares and 4 quarter square triangles. The Ohio Star, we have, you know, 5 quarter square triangles. Just basically the reverse, right? So let's get this sewn together. Now I'm going to sew this by webbing, which means that we're just going to get our 1/4 inch foot on, and it's going to go together real quick. There. And like that. Yeah, I like doing this. Now you could do the Ohio Star block and this block and alternate them, and then it would look like a patchwork of quarter square triangles and squares, right? That would also work. That would be fun. Okay. Let's get this. There we go. Oops, what is this? Oh, this flipped. That's not flipped. Okay. Get our plug back. Now as you're sewing this, make sure you don't flip the sewing underneath. Make sure it lies flat. Right? Like this one just about flipped on me here. And I think, no, that one did. That was fine. So now we're going to take them over just like so. There. And this opens up here. So you kind of like open these up and you sew them just like a book, right? That's why webbing is so easy. It's easier for people to understand which way it's going. There we go. Alright, and now that the rows are done, let's do the columns and move this out of the way. I don't need it anymore. There, now, the path of least resistance is this way, where we press in on the outside ones and out on the middle and then in on the outside, right? Because that's, you got two seams here right at the edge that are going to buck each other, right? So you might as well just sew it that way. Okay, so now let's, okay, I'm just going to open this up so I can see better. Like some people can just sew with their webbing in place and it'll work out. I want to see where my points are, and I want to see where my nesting seams are, and I just need a better view. I need a better view of the situation, I guess. Okay. Now when you press to the solid piece, it's automatically gonna just lay flatter, so that's always nice. Yeah. Okay, open it up. There. Now, there. Now, there are people that would want to match that pin. They would pin, explain it. They would pin in the very upper corner here, and they would pin in right through that corner, where it starts touching the solid piece. And they get really precise crosses there. But I think my 1/4 inch seam is doing all right here today. So that's good. I don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. Now, okay, that's it. So let's get to our big ta-da moment. I'll give it a quick press before we do our ta-da, but just so you see how it's going. Okay, so all of the seams on the solids went this way, right? Like we pressed 2 into the, so now we can continue that path along here as well. And I think it would work out really well for us just to keep pressing into. So that's how I'm going to press it when we get it to the ironing board. But all of these are lying really flat now because I did my swirling seam trick. Okay, let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here's our block. Everything came out really good. Of course, there's a little blue bit of an airplane right where that intersects, so it doesn't look nice and crisp, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll look good. So this one is part of our Blue Monday. And here are the rest of the blocks. Now, this quilt may not end up being on point, but I'm putting the blocks out so you can see the ones that we've made. And we'll add this one in a bit, but it's been a lot of fun playing around with these. So I hope you join us on this. And at the end, we're going to be making a charity quilt. So until we meet again, I hope you have an absolutely fabulous week, okay? Bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure in quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!